Okay. So let's just close. Let's just go through the current tickets. The tickets on last sprint, and then so we can either close them and move them, or put them into the new sprint. 127. Add preference of encounter provider under settings. So I tested it again last Friday, I think. Yeah. I list out different scenario when I log in, and the first use case is logging as a user who is also a provider, and then it works as expected. Another one is log in as a user who is not a provider. Is also working as expected. The third use case that is logging as a user who recently got added as with a provider role. For that use case, it's not working. So I think that's why I put it back to the work in progress status. I don't know if anyone got a chance to test on this ticket or have it back.
I don't see any code changes, I think, for this one, so I think we can keep it in progress.
Okay, cool. The next one is 249, programming of CDM screening form. I think there's some back and forth activities. Simon, do you want to go through this one?
Yeah. Okay. The last activity was about a concept ID, which I tried to submit the form, and then I noticed the encounters couldn't be, the concept couldn't be processed because of the wrong concept ID. The concept ID, I think the class is miscellaneous. So I checked around and I noticed that that should be an answer. So it's been, the question has been assigned the wrong concept ID. I told Lawrence to look into it. I think he's been looking at it. He's not yet here, so he's not given me feedback about that.
Mm-hmm.
But so far that's what is pending, and once it's resolved, then I'll be able to complete it.
Okay, so we'll just leave it in progress for this one.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is 231. Download provider list to local report. I think this is more of the sample form templates issues. It's not like the code of like downloading local, because I was able to download the local the provider list to the local repo, but it's just that I need to have a sample form to confirm that it's working on showing up as a new option for the provider. I think that's the only problem I have. For some reason, every form that I use for the sample form on this ticket, it just says that this form is only applied to female patient, but even I use female patient, it still doesn't open up the same as the male patient. So that's why I could not test further. So I will wait for a new form template for testing, and then so that we can wrap this up. Hey, Shrita.
Hi, Ida. Yeah, I'm going to pick this ticket up from Vikas. So I will send you a new test form, and you should be able to test with that. And
Great, thank you.
yeah.
The next one is improve with the download process.
This is, I think, we're still new, so I think we can,
continue.
yeah, leave it as it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So 57 is on hold. We should not search and replace. I think it should not be on hold now because I think it should. I think. Oh, I understand why it's on hold because I could not force stop, so I cannot test it. Is there any other option I can test it with for this ticket?
Hmm. I don't know. I think we can only do what we discussed before, Ada, just partially and then redo the wizard.
So I can. So even I exit from the app, it's not really exiting. That's the problem.
Oh.
So I cannot test it. That's the problem.
Yeah, we probably need to have a look at 269 then might as well because.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think there's quite a lot of those already closed, and then we went through those quite in detail last Friday, so I'm not going to talk about those. So let's look at the backlog. So we close this sprint, Win?
Yeah, you can close this sprint.
So if I start the new one, it will close this one, right?
No, you go to the
I don't see close.
You click on that drop down on the active, like the sprint name. Left, yeah.
Oh, complete sprint.
Yeah, complete sprint.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and then we can go through the backlog and see what we have.
Okay. So I start the sprint and then this is a lot of tickets.
No, I think we should point it first before starting the sprint.
So we already have those we haven't finished from last sprint.
Yep.
So let's move to the next one. 263. Error downloading cohorts from AMRS. Is Lawrence with you, Simon?
No, it's not yet here.
Okay, but I think you know this one, right? Maybe you can walk us through on this one.
Oh yeah. I think this one is specific to some configuration in on the server side, because there's a ticket I created under MRS which whereby the problem is that you cannot view a cohort on the server side and they throw some error marshalling. I think the error marshalling OpenMRS user something. So I raised this one and I discussed with Wheeler. I think the team, they're setting up their sprint, so they'll be looking at that issue. So I believe when that issue is resolved, then Lawrence will not have an issue downloading cohorts. So it's something.
Is it AMRS 346 is the ticket to resolve, and then if AMRS 346 is resolved and Lawrence ticket will be resolved?
Yes.
I think since this is there potentially not much work from us unless we want to do the AMRS ticket. I don't think we should include this into the sprint because if the AMRS ticket is resolved, then
So Simon, is it possible for you to talk to the Empath developer team to see if they can pick this one up?
Yeah, I think they already taken it up because last time they were in a meeting, they did a discussion, and I think Eric will be looking at it. So I will follow up on that one.
Sorry, I didn't get you guys. I lost connection. Sorry for that. I had lost connection.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
So I don't see any activities on this ticket. That's why I wasn't sure, like anyone's looking at it, and also the set is new, so it's a little bit difficult to tell. Yeah.
I think I can. I think what was happening was. Oh, sorry. There is an echo my way. I think so. What was happening was. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
No echoes?
With echo.
Okay. What was happening about this was when you could go to
you log into two accounts, and then that's why the echo comes from the other machine. Maybe one from the laptop, one from the phone. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. Let me get. I'm off the phone. Can you hear me?
Okay, try again now. Okay. So I guess we'll just pick this up if Derek have other information when he joins later.
Now, Eda, what Eric is telling me today, they are having a call 3 to 4. I think it's in the next hour, where they'll be prioritizing their issues. So what is not sure is that whether they'll give it priority.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So maybe you let us know whether they include it in the top priority. If not, I guess we'll need to pick it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lawrence is here.
Yeah. Hey, Lawrence.
Hi, I think I would say this cohort issue is priority for me because like currently whenever you like changing an APK on the phone on the device and you have to re-download an old cohort and you run into that problem, then you realize it limits the work out there. So what we are having to do, instead of recreating these cohorts, which I've done like 2 or 3 times, and I thought we are messing up the cohorts table, we are resolving to using a working cohort and then allowing the users to just search for the patients.
Mm-hmm. So maybe we can post a comment on this ticket, say that it's really open for you, especially for AMRS 346.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be really helpful.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, because just do it quickly, so so that when they do the priority, they know that it's really a blocker.
All right.
Next one, actually, I filed this on behalf of Lawrence. Lawrence, this is actually your suggestions to, instead of just use the form UID number, it would be best to display the form name, so that it can filter out different program knows which one they should be responsible for it. This is actually your idea. I just go and have filed this because I think it's going to help with the implementation teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to walk us through this ticket?
Yeah, maybe just to mention, when you're looking at when you're logged in on the browser, it would be useful to be able to know, like among all the forms on the error queue, which ones belong to you. As it is currently, we might have to just walk blindly, keep opening all the forms before you actually get to know which one is yours. So I think this would be a very useful feature to have.
Sorry, I was on mute. So any questions or comments for everyone for clarifications on these tickets before we assign points? So if not, let's just assign points. Developers. One, two, three, go. Okay. So Simon, you think it's two, or you want to change to three?
Well, okay, I gave it 2 because I thought we were just adding a field, because within the code, I think we already can retrieve the form UUID, so we are just updating it to display the form name. So I thought maybe 2 is okay, but if guys think it's 3, I think then we can make it 3.
Yeah. So I think I added. I think the probably is my fault. Maybe I should include one more condition on the story. But on the acceptance criteria is like on that error page, add a new column to display the form name. Also add a filter or sorting feature to allow user to filter out the form data by the form template name. So it's like a two new things on this ticket.
I see. Yeah, if we have the field, I think 3 is okay.
Okay, so it's 3. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Next one. 259, crashing app on selecting form to delete. And I think Lawrence, okay. So actually, we this already have under code review, but do we still want to assign a point
Yeah,
for
we
this?
need to assign point for it.
Okay, how many points, guys?
Yeah, well, Vikas did no work and he's not here today probably. Maybe Sweta can help us with.
So this is the work is done, but we need points assigned.
I think it's a 3, Ada. I can't hear you, Ada, if you're speaking.
I trust Sweta, so I can go with 3 as well.
Oh, 3? Okay, cool. So hold on a second, Derek cannot get in, okay? Okay. I'm sorry, I was on mute. This one, the work seems like a lot of work has been done. It's just need testing, but I think we still need to assign points for that. Sweetie, do you want to assign points on this one since you know how much work already that is? Okay, 2, 3, and 1, 2. So you guys need to resolve that. Sweetheart, you think it's a 2?
Yeah, I think Ada, the 3 from Min and Simon was for the previous ticket. I don't think they've. I don't think they gave the estimate for this one. So, okay, let me just be really clear.
Okay.
mUzima 56 is a 2.
Okay.
Yes, you guys can.
Yeah, okay. It's a 2, okay. So Win and Simon is okay?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Okay. So 56 is a 2.
Cool.
Either you're on mute if you're speaking.
Oops, yes, I'm on mute. I'm sorry. Um, the next one is 174. A form module doesn't accept special character. Srita, do you want to you look at it a little bit? Do you want to share the challenge or what you think the efforts for this one?
Actually, we weren't sure about why this Jira was there. Maybe because when we changed the UI for the upload form template part, the form name field is not eligible anymore. So I was just wondering, like, or maybe I'm not understanding what the Jira is for.
Yeah, I think because this ticket was created when we allow the users to type in the form template's name. So
Yeah.
so it can include special characters. But now we pull the form template's name from the form definition. So the control is in the form definition in the core, form core.
Yeah, I
Right.
think we probably can close this one
Okay.
as not replicatable anymore.
So next one, 186. Remove name and description field from mUzima form table, and 3D already work on it. Let's see here. I did say this ticket is on hold till 192 is done, and then I think Twitter change the status to testing is needed. Shweta, do you want to give us an update on this one?
Yeah, it looks like the code for this is already merged, but I guess it wasn't tested. That's all. So once we test it, it can be closed.
Okay. So how many points on this one?
Um, I don't really remember now, but I think I think it was a 3 because I think it was kind of there were a bunch of tickets and we were all trying to do the same thing, but it was broken up So I would say, I think it was a little, I'm not sure because we didn't really break it up like, okay, I would say a 3.
Okay. So it's okay, good. Next one is 69. It says app should remove timeout counter. So when I leave the app by pressing the back button or the home button, the timeout counter still run in the background. At the end of the timeout, the app will force open the apps again and show us the login screen. That the behavior should be remove the timeout counter and ensure the user is logged out from the apps. Because it was like a dependency ticket, and that's why it was on hold. But I think Waker's updated and said it's ready for work because 117 is already resolved. I don't know if anyone have questions or comments on this one before we assign the points. Okay, if no questions, then assign the points. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, 3, 2, 3. So Simon, you want to say why it's 2, or you want to change the 3? Okay, so it's 3.
Can you refresh the list, Seda?
Okay. Is it okay? Okay.
Yep, I put the ticket points for the removing encounters, so probably refresh once again.
Okay.
You probably need to scroll up.
Sorry, I'm just adding direct. He's still pinging me.
Oh.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okie dokie. 114, unable to process queue data due to no preferred identifier. In 1.9, OpenMRS 1.97, we are unable to process queue data due to no preferred identifier. There's a lot of back and forth. And then the last one saying that MRS universal ID should be the defaulted preferred ID. We create different tickets for the use of other type of identifier, which is already done on 227. Does anyone remember what's going on this ticket? Like, what's the status on this ticket? I remember we talked about this one.
Yeah, I think we talked about this one.
Because at least one, I think each patient should have at least one preferred identifier. Is it? And then some of them might not have. Is it the one?
Yeah. We probably need to have a look at this one.
So I think just treat it as a new ticket because I think it's more like clarifications, those comments, yeah. So any questions on or clarification on this one before we assign point? Okay, if not, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, Srita, do you want to change or you want to defend why it's 5?
The reason I say it's a 5 is because I don't have a lot of background knowledge about the identifiers, and so for me, I think it would be a 5, but that's the reason it's not. Maybe it's only because I don't know a lot about how to go about solving this.
Okay. So Simon and me. So Simon and Min, do you want to persuade Srita to reduce to 3?
I was just wondering because we already have some form process fine into AMRS, so I was, I don't know, maybe this ticket will just need some investigation and probably a few testing, and we might be able to close it. I don't know. That's why I was just saying like 3 should be good, maybe. Sweetheart, I don't want to push you to, the cliff or something. So.
No, actually, I remember speaking to Vikas about this when he was saying, with all the changes that have happened with the Q data, this shouldn't happen anymore. So maybe, like you said, it's just a way of testing and verifying that this doesn't happen anymore. We can close the ticket.
Cool.
Cool.
Yay!
Looks also this was related to the XML registration form, which I think right now it's not being used, and maybe it had issues that were to fixed. Then maybe it's no longer an issue. So I think 3 is good, maybe to do a test to investigate and find out what is the issue.
Yeah, I think we have the HTML registration form to replace that one. So yeah, you're right. Okay. 268. Apply validation against band to mUzima forms. So I think let me see here. So, why is 127? No, I think I linked to the wrong ticket. I'm sorry. So this is actually linked to a 251, not 126. I'm sorry about that. Because Waiter helped us to add the validation against banded element, and then that one is working, but it needs to apply the changes to the rest of the mUzima forms. So that's why this ticket is here. I think I need to revise it. Shrita, do you want just like go through what you did for 251? So I think this ticket.
So yeah, I think most of our forms have an autocomplete field for location and provider. So the autocomplete code was basically duplicated across all the forms. So I thought if I move it to one central place, which is mUzima.js, uh, that way in the future, if we have any changes to autocomplete, we only have to make the change in one place instead of making it for every form. So that's the reason I refactored the code. Now the JavaScript part of the autocomplete functionality resides in mUzima.js, but the data that is from which the autocomplete gives suggestions based on the user input is actually on every form because it changes from form to form. So I did it for one form, which is the dispensary form, but the same change has to be made for all of the forms that we have. So it's not complicated, the work, because we've seen that it works already for one form, but it's just a lot of manual work and testing of doing it. Like if we have 20 forms, we have to do it 20 times over. So it probably take time because of that, but it's not a complicated ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say just because of the time factor, I don't know if I should make the association between time and points, because when we assign points, are we doing it based on complexity or time?
I think time, right?
I think it's both complexity and time. So I would say at least this because we have a bunch of forms that we need to apply this logic, even though it's like a copy and paste and whatever. We still need to test it out and then validate that it is working as expected. So
Right.
I mean, I would say if the effort to update one form is probably like a 1 points or something. So if you um, multiply it by the number of form that we have, I would say this ticket is gonna be like, I don't know, 8 or something.
Sure, makes sense. Yeah.
Agreed. Simple. I mean, simple task doesn't mean that it's quick. You know,
Yeah.
it still require time
Yeah.
and effort. So. So, any question or clarification before we all say isn't it?
Or more, I don't know.
I think we have maybe about 8 forms. Maybe that's right. The 10 or something like that.
Yeah, so probably 8 sounds fair.
Yeah. Does everyone agree it's an 8?
Anyone want to argue more?
I think it's an 8. Okie dokie. $269. F4 stop doesn't stop mUzima app. This is the one that I reported earlier. That when you press the full stop on for mUzima, actually it doesn't really close it. It doesn't stop the app, and when you tap on it, it would open up in the landing page without locking in. So I think the correct behavior is that when you press the full stop, it should close the app mUzima application. When you tap on mUzima app again, it should bring you to the login screen. Any question or clarification on this ticket before we assign point? Okay. Let's assign point 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, all 3, cool.
That was easy.
Yep. This one is the update the dispensary encounter form. They have a new version of the dispensary form. Simon is So we did some clarification with the CDM team. Lawrence, I know that you filed tickets on 265 about the provider is unable to view the date of birth on the dispensary form. I just moved this comment here so that we can spend the energy on the new version instead of like worrying about the old version. I hope it's okay for you. So Simon, do you want just to go through what how big or small the changes are when you screen the form, so that it's easy for everyone to team in to assign the points?
Yeah. Already there is dispensary form. So this one is just an update to introduce some logic and some sections. I think there is a urinalysis section, and there's the locations and some medicines, I think, to introduce to the form, and just some logic. So I don't know whether that makes you understand what.
Yes. Yes. So they add the urine analysis, like more lab tests. It's kind of like a lab set with maybe 6 tests inside. And then there are a few questions that with some minor changes and also drugs changes, and more logics need to be applied.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any questions or clarification needed before assigning points?
Just to mention, there are probably other smaller issues that I had noted on the dispensary form that were not really major issues. I was thinking this would be an opportune time to raise those. Then, as Simon works on it, we can have them incorporated.
What was the issue, Lawrence?
No, like I can't remember all of them from the top of my head, but I think I could just put them. I could comment them on this ticket as well. Yes.
Yeah, it would be always helpful to have the whole list before Simon work on it. It's just easier to incorporate.
Okay.
Yes, please. Okay. Do you guys want to assign points? Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, when do you want to argue why it's a 5? When you're on mute in case you're talking.
Sorry. I think I need to have. I mean, how far off is this going to be with the original form?
I would say the basic 70% are the same as the original form, but I think it would require to add additional validations. That's my understanding. So working on forms always seem straightforward and simple, but I really think usually it require more time and effort because always going like end around between the implementers and the developers. It's just my personal view. It usually require more time. That's my view.
Yeah, that's why I pick 5. I don't know.
It's really you guys design.
Yeah. Because I'm worried that we will need to add a lot of validation, and then it could drag down a little bit of our time. So I don't know. I could go down to 3 if everyone.
I think this is actually a good time to discuss about how we deal with and developing encounter form. I think at one point, I think we need to be consistent or like need to be firm in a way that anything provided after, the development start date, it needs to go through a different tickets, because my worry is that it always never ending. Like, because the original specs did not even include, this long list of comments and suggestions of adding, this 12 validation and things like that. I think if those, let's say at the beginning, they only provide 5 validations, I think we just should lock it. And any additional comments should require new ticket. I just don't want to make it sound like, oh, the same ticket for the same form is been in 5 sprints because of that reason. I don't know if you guys agree, or you guys still want to keep using the same tickets when the feedback keep coming.
I agree with you. I think every changes from the original request should be another separate ticket.
Yeah, it's like never-ending loop.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah. So yeah, Lawrence, I'm going to put this throw the ball back to you. So let's say that if all the information are not provided before the actual development start, I think we're going to tell you to create new ticket. I think that would be the best practice for us, because it's become very difficult to manage and also make our developers look not good if the same tickets keep opening for 3 months.
So I just wanted to say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is like even right now, if we look at the ticket, there's a document that's been attached with comments from maybe the implementer, and then there's someone else tested it, and then they add their comments. So what eventually happens is there's like 4 or 5 documents, and we never know what is the latest except from the date. So it's not a very efficient way to track, because then the person has to manually open each of the uh, files with the documents, and we don't know what is the latest and the greatest. So I really agree with Ada that when the person starts working on the Jira, we know exactly what that person needs to do, and when the person is done, you just close it. If there's any new changes to the form after testing, and if it pertains to the changes that the person is making, maybe yes. But if it's like a completely different part of the form, or a different question, or a new validation or something, I think we should save it for the next set of tickets.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It just has less confusions, and then like every time when we say it's done, and then the same day, or if or even an hour later, say that it's not done, because of additional sets of requirements. But then from the project PI, they thought that actually we didn't, the developers did not apply those changes, but actually those are new sets of requirements that it wasn't in the original spec. So I just try to avoid that scenarios. It's just easier for us to communicate to the project teams.
Yep. I think considering a lot of the form is already in place, and you said like 75% of the form is reusable, so I would say like 3 will be fine, and then any subsequent changes to the request should be a separate ticket, and then it will go through the same sprint process.
Yeah. Does it make sense to you, Lawrence? I hope that it's okay for you.
Yeah, it does. It does make sense.
So I think like for the developers who assign on the tickets, I think you just need to be firm. Saying that I'm going to start working on this ticket now, and any more new new requirements would require new tickets, and that's it. And then we'll just based on the specs on this particular ticket and do the development work. Okay, so everyone agree this is a 3? Thank you. So 2 more tickets.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Just a quick question on that one. Now that you're saying once a ticket is up and it's been assigned, the developer is going to state probably when they're starting to work on it. Where will we be able to get that information from? Is it going to be commented on?
I think the developers should put a comment and also change from new to in progress.
Okay.
Would that be okay for everyone? Just easier. Either change the tickets to in progress or put a comment. So like Lawrence, like if they change the ticket status to in progress, they have a timestamp so you can tell from working at all under here activity. So you will see every changes.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, the next ticket is 267. Create the health center encounter form. Simon, do you want to go through this? This is a brand new form. Do you want to talk about it just briefly so that everyone can kind of tell the
Yeah.
capacity?
Yeah, this is a new form. The definition is pretty much like the dispensary form. So I think I will still reuse a lot of the code on the dispensary form and then do some changes. But however, I will still need to go through everything just to make sure what is captured on the form reflects what is captured on the definition reflects on the form. Yeah.
So I just want to clarify when Simon says it's very similar to the dispensary form, he refers to the way of the questions are being structured, not the content. So he still need to work on the contents from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Just wanted to understand what is this new form going to be capturing? Like, why do we need this new form? Just to understand, just curious. That's it.
this form is to capture. Maybe Lawrence can help us even more. Lawrence, do you want to go just provide a background on the health center form?
Okay. Health center form is going to be used in the health centers, which is a level higher from the dispensaries. So in comparison to the dispensary form, you notice the dispensary form has very few questions because they're limited in terms of the services they can offer. So in terms of content, you'd find the health center has more sets of lab tests to be done and more detailed questions because the care is being offered by a clinical officer as compared to a nurse at the dispensary level. So it's more detailed as compared to the dispensary form. I don't know if that makes sense, Shweta.
Sure. Thank you. It does make sense. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So you guys can take a look this form. 2, 3, 4, a little bit more than 4 pages long. Mostly like a lot of drugs and treatment and diagnosis. Okay. So time to assign points. Going. Let's do it quickly. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, cool. 8 and 13. You guys need to resolve that.
I would say 13. Yeah, everyone agree on 13. So I think we can get a rough idea of developing a new form would be like, I don't know, 8 or 13.
Sorry, I got kicked out.
Oh,
My Chrome just crashed.
yeah, I think we can, I was saying we get a rough idea that when we want to develop a new form, the point will be 8 to 13.
I agree.
Yeah, because there's a lot of,
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Cool. So this one is 13?
yeah.
Okay. So one last ticket is
I send that one to the top of the backlog. I don't know if we want to do it.
yeah. I think it's good. Wait.
I think we have a lot on the screen already.
Okay. Okay, that's fine then. So I think that is it for today.
I think we can start the sprint and then
Yeah. Okay.
everyone can pick their ticket.
Okie dokie. A sprint.
So is this a 2 week sprint, Ada?
Yeah, it's a 2 weeks.
Okay. So I don't know. I just want to just factor in that we're going to be one developer short, I guess. So maybe that will affect our velocity.
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
Since we're going to be one developer less because of the cast, we may not be able to do. I feel I'm not sure. I feel like we may not be able to cover the same number of points as we did.
Yeah, I agree. So let me just go back and look at those, and then whether I can remove some of those.
Sure.
Okay.
Or we can just keep it and then let it drop to the next sprint.
Yeah.
And see how far it goes.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.